So welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
You need to love yourself and still be able to extract the messages from people.
Exactly.
Without throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? So that's the hardest thing for people, by the way, is to know yourself. First, you got to love and know yourself. What happens often when people love and know themselves? They disregard everybody else. All right, I'm better than you now. I'm cool. I know what I'm doing. How do you love and know yourself and believe in your power, but simultaneously know how to cancel that out to receive and learn from someone else? This is the art of the Kabbalist. This is being in two places at the same time, and this is a sign of spiritual strength. Because what most people want to do when they're controlled by their Satan is they want to be comfortable in one mode of spirituality. Okay, I'm working on myself. I'm good, I'm the best. Don't talk to me right now. It's like you don't even want to hear any criticism, or somebody puts you down, you get so defensive because you're trying to build your self-esteem, and you want everyone, and you don't want to hear anything negative about you. So what happens is, again, this is not a complete circuit. The ultimate goal is, can I know who I am? Can I love myself? I need to ask the Creator for that. And someone's saying something, okay, let's listen. Let's see what the message is. Let's not take it personally. What's the big picture? What gem can I take from this? And perfect, I have more now. I just take more from each person's lesson.
Can you elaborate a little bit about your yesterday's recording about the sexual energy, the neediness, and all that?
Yesterday's recording about the sexual energy and the neediness, you're talking about the text message recording that went out?
Yes.
Can you give me a little more context?
You talked about how if you control your...
Oh, the blood. It was about the blood.
The blood,
right?
and how, well, one blood was symbolizing the sacrifice.
Right.
And,
right.
Right.
Yes.
And the other one is the circumcision, which controls the sexual energy, and how a person who masters the control of that energy can achieve everything.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of literature, spiritual Kabbalistic literature about this whole idea, but the Kabbalists say that the birth of every short circuit is actually it starts from a sexual desire, which is very interesting. And the Kabbalists explain the dimensions of light where from the 10 dimensions and the sexual desire actually starts at a very high dimension, which is connected to our consciousness. And then it ends at the sexual organ where that light is revealed. And that's why it's so powerful. So it says that when those channels are blocked energetically, a person's everything is blocked. Their finances are blocked, their relationships are definitely blocked, their children become affected, either their unborn children or current living children become affected, their wisdom becomes affected, their ability to feel God becomes affected. So it starts with having impure sexual thoughts and desires at the thought level. So if some people say, well, I just think about it, I don't do anything. The thinking actually is the worst. And then there are people who abuse that energy physically as well. That can mean many things, right? So when a person is pure in those areas, he opens all the pipes of energy. And Passover, what is Passover? The angel of death was coming to kill the firstborn. And the angel of death would pass over a house that had a certain energy, basically. And what was that energy? It's a metaphor, don't take it literally. But there had to be blood on the door. The blood was the blood of the sacrifice of the ram. The ram represents the most selfish animal, which is the most selfish nature within us. And the other blood was the blood of the ram, and then the blood of circumcision. So they circumcised themselves, they were uncircumcised, which is a metaphor for circumcision represents the foreskin, and the foreskin represents the greatest sexual desire. So the circumcision actually means you curtail and you harness that energy. Restrict, but in a way of creating circuitry, in a way of really bringing light to the world and not suppressing. So they took those two bloods, they mixed it together, and they put it on the doorpost. And that's what Passover literally means. That's the details of the story. So the Zohar says that it's not about blood, It's about when a person overcomes their selfish nature, their tikkun, which is what we're learning right now. What's my tikkun? That's one blood. The second blood is you have to be pure in that area, which is the hardest area to be pure in according to the Zohar. And it scales from everything, like the things that we just know can be negative, like pornography and stuff like that. But it also could be things like just being needy in a relationship and abusing a relationship that way, and using that relationship to feed your own lack, which often people do as well. So that is the whole spectrum of how it's an abuse of sexual energy, and it can block that dimension. Okay? All right, so this is what we're going to do. Let's all stand up for a moment. The best way, I was telling Peggy this before, Peggy does best when she doesn't know anything about you. Because as soon as she knows something about you, things can, more information can get kind of blocking the channels. So the idea is you have to find someone in the room who you don't know and they don't know you. And partner up with them. And then Peggy will walk through an exercise. She does this regularly where she teaches people how to connect to their intuitive side. Teaches people how to get a message for the other individual. And we all have that power within us. We actually, we build that power, we harness it, we hone it. The more we cleanse ourselves and we do more spiritual work, the light just kind of starts to communicate with you more. So let's give a moment, find your partner, sit next to them, and then Peggy will lead the rest of the workshop.
So, because we all have 5 senses, we all also have our 5 spiritual senses. So we can see, we can hear, we can feel, we can smell, we can do all the same things that we do in the physical, we can do in the spiritual. So the point is that because we're always receiving information, one of those channels is always communicating with us. So if we're scared, we see something in our mind and it scares us as a little kid and we shut it down, all of a sudden now we start to feel things. And we shut the feelings down, all of a sudden we start to know things, and you just know. So it's like the wind's always going to blow. The Creator's always going to communicate with you. So whether you're listening or not, it's happening. But once you know your strongest channel, your strongest connection, and you really want it and desire it, like David was saying, it makes all the difference in the world. It will magnify. It's like a muscle. The more you ask for it, the stronger it becomes. So the way you clear the space is we all have an ego, and we love our egos, right? They got us here tonight. They create a desire for us to come. So what we want to do now is be able just to breathe, and when we're breathing, what happens is it helps us to relax. And then all the kind of chatter that's going on in our mind, we can just let that relax. And I'm going to walk you through the process that I use. And everything that I'm giving you, when I first started, my guides or angels actually just said, don't read a book, don't talk to anybody, we're going to train you how to do this. So I was like, who are you? And what is this? But I was promised that I would do more good in the world than not, right? And that was kind of my deal. As long as things are working out and it's good, then I'll listen to this communication. So essentially what I was taught was just to go into my heart. And that just means you close your eyes and you put your attention there, right? And sometimes people like to put their hand on their heart because it draws their mind or their focus into their heart. If you like to do that, that's fine. I don't have really any rules about legs being crossed or not crossed. The rule I go by is your comfort. Are you comfortable? You have to be comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, if my back hurts, it's taking you out of your channel. So just be comfortable. And most people are just comfortable with their hands relaxed and their legs on the floor. So the idea is to be comfortable. So what we want to do is I'm going to ask you to go into your heart, and then I'm going to ask you to go down into the center of the earth, and I'm going to have you create like a beautiful sacred space. And then I'm going to have you breathe from that white light all the way up to the top of your head. I'm going to have you hold it for 3 seconds, and then exhale and push back down your body, back down to the center of the earth. And every time you push down, you're just going to let go. And you're just going to relax even more and even more and even more. And you just do that 3 times, and then you'll just ask for a message for your partner. And the message that can come in, it can come in the form of a memory, something that happened to you when you were a little girl or a little boy. It can come into something that wow, I don't know why I'm thinking of this. I saw this on the news last week. And It can be an actual, like, I just heard 3 words, or I'm supposed to tell you, or it can be a picture that unravels. So everything from the time you do the 3 breaths and you let go, and you mentally then ask the question, please give me a message from my partner, everything that follows that is the answer, okay? And in the process of doing this, if, because you maybe don't know what your strongest sense is, you know, whether I see things or hear things or feel things, what I always encourage people to do is after you do those 3 breaths, just imagine that you're sitting in a movie theater and there's a big screen. And that way, if you're somebody who's clairvoyant, your focus can go right there and could open up. So having a place to kind of put your intention helps it to open up, and then you can feel it or just know it. Some of you will just be what I call a divine knower. You won't see things, you won't feel things, you'll just know. I don't know why, but I know I'm just supposed to say this, right? And so that's just another channel that we all have. Okay,
So what are some of the ways that people will get messages? You said it could come, because you shared with this, it's a visual thing, they could hear something.
So if you're a clairaudient, it might be a train of thought that comes into your mind, like your voice, like just a thought coming in that says, you know, she needs to slow down, she's going too fast. He needs to stop judging himself. He needs to, you know, help his wife. He needs, you know, whatever it is, right? So so it can be a train of thought that comes in. It can be a word or two that just pops in your mind, or it can be a memory, something that happened today, or you could think of, all of a sudden, maybe you think of your dad and what's going on with your dad, and you could say, I don't know why I'm supposed to tell you this, but you know, my dad's coming to mind, and he's had this disease, and this is what happened to him, and now he's better. And you find out that your partner's father has been sick, and she's concerned, and this message is, when you interprets that your dad's gonna be okay, because this is the story that came to me, and we had a happy ending, so I know now, for you, your dad is gonna have a happy ending. So you take the information and you overlay it.
And what are some things that could come to try to sabotage the message? Is that something they should pay attention to? Like, you know, the opponent comes in, Satan comes in and says, oh, what are you doing, you know?
Well, usually...
Or is everything a message?
Well, everything's always a message, right? So it's just whether I'm right or wrong with the answer, right? So when the information comes in, well, I don't want to go into that. We'll talk about that after.
After they do the first phase.
Right, because otherwise there'll be people who'll be looking for that instead of looking for this.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Think about your partner, also you concentrate on the white line.
So
Can you
that's a
repeat
good
the question? Repeat the question.
So she said, should I think about my partner or should I think about white light? There's really no thinking involved. Here's the reason why. When you're thinking, it's coming from your brain. It's not, you're not intuiting. Thinking is not intuiting, right? That's you creating, your personality creating. So the way that you do this is when I breathe in white light up and down through the channel, it just helps me to relax. And it reminds me, oh, I'm going to God. That's where my answer is coming from. I specifically don't ask for guides or angels. I just go to the Creator because I figure He knows what I need more than because I was always taught if I ask for this angel or if I ask for that guide, that's all I can get. And if you're working for somebody else, right, if you're connecting with somebody else, you don't know what they need. So the Creator always does, and even in our own lives. So I always go to the Creator and figure they'll send the right messenger to give me the message. And that's kind of my belief in how I operate. Yeah. So as we go through the breath, as we inhale up and go back down and let go, and if you can see white light, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. And at the same time, so everybody just start, and I just want you to just relax, and we're gonna just close your eyes and just notice your body. Just notice your body right now. Do you have any aches or pains or body pressures? Do you feel hot or cold? Do you feel happy or sad or irritated? Just notice, because this is you, right? This is, you know, how you're being, because you're gonna have you're gonna feel differently after this. So just notice this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a clearing. And what a clearing is where we just get rid of all our own stuff, all our feelings and our sensations. So just go down into your heart, and if you need to put your hand on your heart to know where that's at, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine too. So just imagine your attention now is in your heart. And now just imagine this beautiful white light is in your heart, the part of you that's just opening to the divine. And then follow that white light all the way down through the body, all the way down to the center of the earth. And imagine this beautiful space that you've created in the center of the earth. And your angels have delivered this beautiful bouquet of flowers, or whatever it is for you, a set of Zohar, whatever makes you feel safe, this beautiful space, and just bring everything in that makes you feel safe in this beautiful space. Make it your own, make it your safe space where you can go to, and that you can get messages, and there's nothing here except you and the light of the Creator. And then as you sit in that space, just feel safe and feel comfortable. And now we're going to take 3 breaths up, and we're going to breathe white light all the way up through our body, all the way up to the top of our head. And inhale all the way up. Hold it for a count of 3. And now exhale very slowly, all the way back down your body. Relaxing even more. And then inhale again up from the center of the earth, all the way up through your body, all the way up to the top of your head. Hold it for a count of 3. And then exhale, relaxing even further, all the way back down your body, all the way back down to the center of the earth. And then one more time, inhaling up, all the way up to the top of your head, through the body, and then hold it for a count of 3. And now this time relax, letting go of everything, all thoughts, all ideas, any reactions. Just feel safe and grounded. And now from here, notice how your body feels. Notice where your breathing is, and notice if you feel different. And then just open your eyes for a second, and then just share how you feel different. You guys, can you feel the difference in your body? The way you're sitting now, this is feeling grounded. This is the place you always want to talk to God from. This is the place you always want to ask information from the Creator, because you're grounded. You're present, right? All the sensations and all that other stuff is left out. Now, from this point, when you breathe and you ask for a message from your partner, anything that comes in, any body sensations or anything else that's new now, all belongs to them. It doesn't belong to you anymore, because you're in a clear space. Unless you're actually aware, oh, I still have my headache's gone, but I feel this little ache here yet. So do you guys feel different in your body? Yeah, who wants to share? Somebody? Yeah? Okay. It's really quiet in here. Yeah. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and let's get a message for our partner. So we're just gonna, on your own, I'm gonna take you through the breaths again. And then when I get to that clearing space, I'll just phrase the question for you, and then you'll just open and see what's there. Okay, so let's relax, close your eyes, go into the heart, drop all the way down to the center of that earth, that beautiful space that you've created for you, your sacred space. And then inhale up a beautiful white light, all the way up to the top of your head. Hold it for a count of 3, and then exhale, going all the way back down, relaxing with every breath, all the way to the center of the earth, and then in again. Inhale all the way up through the body, up to the top of the head. And then relax, exhale, all the way back down. And one last time, inhaling up from the center of the earth, all the way up to the top of the head. Hold it for a count of 3, and then exhale, all the way back down, relaxing. And then just mentally opening, imagine yourself in that movie theater, and then just asking for the Creator to give a message for your partner. And then we'll just sit in this space for a minute. Okay, and then go ahead and share with your partner. If you're somebody who didn't get a message, then just say to your partner, just start talking. And what I want you to say is, what message I'm going to share with you, and then just start to talk and see what falls out of your mouth if you didn't get a message. That's only for those people. So go ahead and share with your partner what you saw, what you felt, what you got. Don't leave anything out. As long as it makes sense to your partner, like they get it. It's so funny, you know, I'm going to tell you the big secret about being a psychic, right? So everybody thinks that when you give somebody a piece of information, they think, oh my God, they know my whole life. And the way I explain it is you're your own puzzle, and I get pieces of that puzzle, and I say the pieces of the puzzle, and since you know your whole life, and as long as that puzzle piece fits in, people are blown away, and they think you know everything, but you just know what you're supposed to know, right? You're just giving what you're supposed to give. Yeah, so see how you just trusted the information and she made sense of it. And that's all that really matters, is that it makes sense to the other person. The thing of it is when something, all the mistakes that are made are in the interpretation. You always feel what you feel, you always see what you see, but it's when you put it together and then you put it out there, that's where the mistakes are made. And so as you're putting it out there, you have to start to listen to what I call your divine knower, your gut, that lower part of yourself that is always discerning what's going on. And we always operate out of this. We know when people are lying to us. We know when people say something that feels off. Wait, I don't quite trust what they're saying, or I'm not quite sure if I like that person. That is always activated in us. That's our soul consciousness. It's always there. It just knows. And all the other psychic stuff is just information, and we have to filter through it because sometimes the ego pushes there. And the ego push, which David was talking about, is how do we know it's not the ego? The ego is the largest voice in the room, right? So if you're working with somebody like, does the boy like me? Does he like me? You know, is she the one? Is she, right? That's so loud that you can feel that. And as you start to say the answer, if it's wrong, you can feel it in your body. And then you go, oh, no, I'm telling you what you want to hear. That's not really the truth. Now let me check and see if that really is the truth or not, because it's so loud, it kind of takes over the conversation.
So I thought I'll share, you know, when I was doing the meditation, I didn't really have a person to meditate on. I thought maybe I'd meditate on Peggy, but there was something like a force field, like don't even go there. And I remember what inspired me to teach Kabbalah was sitting in that room when I was like, I don't know, 17 years old, 16 years old. And I remember seeing another teacher speak. It was Eitan Yardeni. And it was almost like, and I'm looking at the room, there's like hundreds plus people in the room. It's like every word he said, every person thought that he was talking to them. You understand? Like, and everyone got something different, because I was a mentor, and I'm asking and I'm talking like, what'd you get? And then everyone got something different. And some of the stuff that people got, Eitan didn't even say, which was amazing. So I learned about something. I'm like, but he didn't even talk about that. And I saw that's the power of being a channel. And obviously, you know, I went through my journey, but what's powerful is like if you're in a class or in any setting, you know, things come to your mind and things come to your brain, and you say them. You don't know why you're saying them, but it has something to do. And I told Peggy this is what kept coming in my brain as I was doing this meditation, and it made no sense to me. But it probably relates to at least one person in this class. There was a message that said, "Pay off the loan." That's all it was. Pay off the loan. Just pay it off. Just, if you have to take money from someone else, just pay it off. That's all. I don't know what it means. So if it's for you, but just pay off the loan. That was the message. So
if you're sitting out there wondering
if you should pay off the loan, you should pay off the loan.
Here's your message.
And the other thing I was thinking of is you know, the Rav, the Rav was sitting at a table, I think it was a dinner table, and the Rav was telling all the students and said, do you want to know the secret of how to read people's minds? And so everyone's like, you know, stop what they're doing. So the Rav said, do you want to know my secret to reading people's minds? And so the Rav said, I just really care about people. And when you care about them, you read their mind. And it's obviously it's accurate, because, you know, the way parents can feel and read their children's minds, it's just because there's a care there. So they naturally become psychic about their children. But how do we like care about each other, right? There's a wall between people in general. There's always a wall. But as we break through our correction, we naturally, organically start to feel people and care about people. Just because once you remove your negativity, all that's left is your godliness. And your godliness, it's like water that flows to where it needs to go. When you're godly, that light just wants to fill the vessel. So it wants to fill people. It wants to feel people. And really, I was thinking there's three ways to connect to your intuitive side. And that's just what I was thinking now. One, someone like Peggy, born, some of us have this gift, some of us have it in the extreme way, like you're a renowned intuitive. It's your correction, it's your tikkun, it's a gift you were given. For whatever reason, your tikkun process, you need to have that gift. The second is, to cultivate it through exercises, through meditations, through kind of being still with ourselves and just opening channels, kind of like what we did today. And the third is when a person does their spiritual work, you break through your fears, you really handle and you deal with your insecurities, you're just connected to the GPS. We learned it in Kabbalah 1, the 99%. You're plugged into the tree of life, the 99%, and that's the greatest way of channeling. Because in the Zohar it says about Moses, I remember exactly where the verse was, but there's a whole Zohar about palm and face reading. Because you can learn how to look at someone's face and look at their hands and see the future or the tikkun of this person. And I don't remember exactly the quote what it was, but Moses, it was written about Moses, or Moses said that I don't even want to deal with the palm and face because if I'm connected with the light, it's even higher level. It's an even higher level. It's like one of the reasons why I never even wanted to learn too much about it. Like I started to learn a little bit about it, and then I said, I don't want. It's limiting. It's almost limiting to learn about the palm and the face because it's your trying to understand people. If you can get to a place where the Creator is giving you information constantly about your business, about your love life, about where to go. It says King David would wake up in the morning and his legs would just start moving. The Creator would just take him. And he would say, I don't want to go in this direction, but my legs take me in that direction. That's the highest level of intuition, is when we do our spiritual work, right? Because otherwise every psychic in the world would be a billionaire and you would know the lottery numbers and it would be over. But because every intuitive also has his or her own tikkun, there's always going to be that ultimate channel that's going to be blocked. The ultimate channel between us and the Creator. And I think that's the gift and the power of the work we're doing. And leading into Passover, we didn't talk too much about the logistics of Passover. I think that's more the stuff we're trying to cover in the texts. We wanted to use this space more to get to know ourselves. But we've said it before, and we'll keep saying it all the time. If you know what your fear is, if you know where your blockage is, you have to. Rav Ashlag says, if you want to break something, you have to break it in a powerful one hit. If you want to break a rock, you take the hammer and you do a powerful hit. So there are some people that go to the rock and they do this. They just tap the rock 5,000 times, and probably 5,000 times takes as much energy as one hit. But the 5,000 times doesn't break the rock, but the one hit does. So you almost have to take a drastic step to break your fear. It's not a logical step. It's not a calculated step. It's not okay, let me go step by step and see how I'm going to do it. You got to do something bold to break it. And I want to just wrap up, just because of the time constraint, about just overview of what we've learned and how we're going to relate that to Passover. Obviously, I'm assuming not everyone will have the ability to participate in the Kabbalistic connection of Passover. The way it works is, come Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, it's March 30th, the Kabbalah Center will do its own connection. People might have their own individual connections, but the Kabbalah Center will have its own connection, and it's a room full of people like-minded with one vision, one consciousness. How do we tap into this cosmic light that's coming down? There's the way to do it. The Kabbalists explain that there's 10 unique items. Some are food, some just different items on the table. Each one draws its unique light of the 10 dimensions. That's like the hardware. The software is there are 15 steps that you follow and how you interact with that food, eat the food, do this. There's so many different secrets. Everything represents energy. You're building a cosmic antenna. And during those 15 steps, which takes about 3 hours, you draw this infusion of light into your soul. And what happens is what you're supposed to feel, I was telling this to Peggy earlier, the word hallelujah, it's like a religious term. Kabbalah explains it's Hallel and then the name of God. That's what hallelujah is. It's to praise the Creator. Praising the Creator means you feel the Creator. You feel how big the Creator is. Because when you really feel God, you realize how stupid your tikkun is. You realize how stupid your ego is. When you feel the greatness of the Creator, wow, it makes all the problems so small. And that's how people change. You change when you feel how great the light is. That's really the big change. That's why Passover is so powerful, because a person who goes in with the right consciousness and then makes the physical connection, what they should feel throughout the night is, wow, it's something very big. It's very powerful. It's very big. So we take so much effort to make this glorious night. It's a glorious night. It's a royal night. You're actually supposed to feel like you're royalty. There's all this preparation that goes into it. So that is, and even though it's sometimes for some people it's, there's time constraints, money constraints, whatever. If not this year, then next year. It's one of the 2 connections during the year. I tell people, do whatever you can. Just make the connection. Forget about all the excuses or whatever. Just make the connection. Make the most powerful connection. Try to do it with your peers who study Kabbalah. Taste it. Just taste it once. After you taste it, then decide whatever you want to do every year after that. But that's just my first message about that. But what if you're not making that connection, and let's say you're at home, you're at a friend's house, whatever it is, that light is available. So you want to connect. You want to be present with the Creator on that night in your own way. Through meditation, through study. I just wouldn't dismiss this night and just go out and have a party and just say, oh, whatever, I'll just figure it out next year. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you should make a connection, because that light will give you the strength for the entire year to change who you are. And it's very real. I've had people wake up the next morning and who are smokers, who couldn't even pick up a cigarette the next day. Like something, they got a new soul. That soul didn't like cigarettes, whatever it was. I've seen complete miracles, so many of them, because the light is real and it's very strong on that night.
It's true. Yeah, no, it really is. I've been to a lot of them and actually seen the energy in the room change. Just from, somebody over here mentioned the light was really bright, then it turned really dark. It was just the opposite. It was kind of dark and then just got lighter and brighter and brighter. And then I could feel it like mushroom. It's really amazing. It's and it is sort of effortless if you can just open yourself up to it with the clarity and the intention. If you can't come to the center and if you can't stream, just make sure.
You can also stream. If you're from home, you can stream. Obviously, you won't participate in the physical stuff, but you can at least be there with us.
Yeah, because we talk about one soul. So if you can't get there, then just do that. Even just going and imagining that you're there, or because you can use other people as channels, right? So you can use other people's energy. You can borrow energy from somebody else. If you feel like I don't know how to make my own connection, then connect with David, or connect with with the center itself, or with the energy, or whoever that you feel close to as a vehicle to help you open your heart. So there's other ways. If you feel like I don't know how to do it, connect with somebody that you think does know how to do it, and then feel that energy. I just call it borrowing energy, and it opens that up so you can receive.
It's one phase of being a participant in the study of Kabbalah. There is this other level, which are these international events. People come from all around the world. They travel. I mean, people will be it's in Los Angeles. It's in our backyard. People are coming from everywhere, from the Philippines, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, from China, from Africa. They're coming to make this connection all together. And what they're bringing is just this passion, this energy, this desire. And when you're in a room together making any kind of connection, you're drawing this intense, like almost blinding energy of light, which is what I want to share with newer students. Maybe it's your first or second year at the Kabbalah Center. Kind of take that leap, taste it, experience it, because you're not going to regret it.